Welcome to Amud Yomi Shiur. Be'ezus Hashem Na'aseh v'Natzliach. We are at the beginning of an amazing week. Elul is coming, and we are about to finish the Masechta. Yutes Amud Aleph. Yutes Amud Aleph in the bottom of the page of Makkos. Amud Yomi Makkos. Yutes Amud Aleph. This year is Le'ilu Nishmas, my father Menachem and Akiva Zatzal, and welcome to all the amazing people from Torah Anytime and people, of course, on the phone. Okay, so what we said last time, and we test Amud Aleph, before I summarize what we've done so far, we are now in the Umay Kasova. The words are Umay Kasova. Umay Kasova, the line starts with the word Sheken, and then we have Umay Kasova. What does it mean? We were saying in the previous year that we were dealing with a question: what happens once, sadly, Beis Hamikdash is destroyed, as it did happen, and a person wants to go and eat Meiser Sheni in Yerushalayim? You want to have your Meiser Sheni within the walls of Yerushalayim, and the question is: it says regarding Meiser Sheni, Lifnei Hashem Elokecha, you eat it in front of Hashem. And the question is, when Beis Hamikdash is not there, is it still called Lifnei Hashem, or isn't it? Can you or can you not eat your Meiser Sheni without pidyon inside Yerushalayim, even if there are no Chomos, no Beis Hamikdash? Is it still called Lifnei Hashem? Basically, the answer was as follows. The Gemara, and this we have to know, this is very, very, very important for now. The outline of the sugya up until now was as follows. Bechor, the korban of a Bechor, representing Kochim Kalim, a Bechor is a korban that clearly cannot be eaten when the Beis Hamikdash is not there. In other words, the Kohen supposed to eat the flesh of the Bechor in Yerushalayim is not allowed to do that when the Beis Hamikdash is not there. Fair enough. And then the question was, what about Meiser Sheni? Then at the end of a long story, we basically made a hekesh, because Meiser Sheni and Bechor are mentioned in the same pasuk. Just like Bechor cannot be eaten sheloi bifnei habayis, the real Beis Hamikdash, so too Meiser Sheni cannot be eaten like that either. And the question is, why was it so simple to you? That's I'm basically prefacing the question. Why is it so simple to the Gemara that Bechor, that's like an axiom, that's a starting point. A Bechor cannot be eaten when Beis Hamikdash is not there, and Meiser Sheni, yes, no, maybe so. Eventually, Bechor brought Meiser Sheni into the club, just like Bechor cannot, so to Meiser Sheni is not. And the Gemara is now attacking that point. Why was Bechor so simple to you, and Meiser Sheni was a question mark? That's the question, in a nutshell. But really, we're getting involved over here with something else. Umay Kasova, frag the Gemara, what did the Gemara think up until now? Ikasova mimanavshach. Ikasova, if the Gemara thought, Kedusha Rishoyna Kot Shel Shaita, the Kot Shel Osid Lovoi. That's a famous machlokas in many places in Shas, in Megillah Daf Yud, in Shavuos Daf Tetzain or something, I think Tetzain. Kedusha Rishoyna, the question is as follows. Very, very, very basic question. The Kedusha Rishoyna, the Kedusha of the Beis HaMikdash and Yerushalayim, that original Kedusha that we had in times of Beis HaMikdash, Kitcha l'shaita, the Kitcha l'osid lovoi, or not? In other words, do we say that the Kedusha of Yerushalayim regarding eating korbanos, eating Meiser Sheni, is the Kedusha still there, or is the Kedusha not there anymore? We're not talking here about the emotional side of Kedusha. We're talking here about very halachic, litvish, shulchan aruch kind of Kedusha. Can I eat kochim, or can I even bring korbanos? Which means, according to Man Doma Kedusha Rishoina, according to one who says that Kochelo said Lovoi, the Kedusha of Yerushalayim never left it. If we say that, right now the Gemara will see the nafkamina. Afilu b'chol nami, question mark, which means, I saw the Gemara in Megillah again this morning, and it was quite interesting. The Gemara says, if you say Kedusha Rishoina is still there, you can do anything you want. You can bring Kodshim even, let alone Kochim Kalim, eat Meiser Sheni in Yerushalayim, the place of the Mikdash. Sounds very strange. Sounds like, some kind of, one of these wacko groups. Apparently, there's such an opinion in Halacha, in the Rishonim till today. If we say Kedusha Rishona is there, it means the Beis Hamikdash is not there physically, and it's very, very sad, and it's very tragic, and we mourn over it every year on the 9th of Av. But Lamaisa, The Kedusha Rishona is there halachically. And if you know where's Mokum HaMizbeach, you can spill the blood in the place where the Mizbeach was, and Gesundheit, you can bring the Korbanos and do a lot of stuff. And therefore, the Gemara says, wait a second, let's wake up from the dream. If you think that, which side are you on? If you think Kedusha Rishona is there, still there, why is it so simple to you that Bechol, cannot be eaten, and I can do everything. Bechor is a korban, last time I checked, right? Bring the korban Bechor, very nice. The Kohen will eat the flesh, everything is good. Bechor and Meiser Sheni, and the entire Kodshim can function as as normal. And Ikasava Kedusha Rishona Kodsha L'Shaita V'Loi Kodsha L'Osid Lavoy, you test Amud Aleph, about, I don't know, 8 or so lines from the bottom of the page. If you say Kedusha Rishona Kodsha L'Shaita V'Loi Kodsha L'Osid Lavoy, if we said that the original Kedusha of Yerushalayim was there, but halachically, sadly, Tisha B'Av, halachically left the place, not just hashkafically. If so, afilu b'chor nami tiboy, then b'chor should also be a question. If you say the Kedusha Rishon is not there anymore, why is it so simple to you that the b'chor cannot be eaten, cannot be eaten in front of Beis HaMikdash? In other words, let me explain. Let me explain the story. If we say Kedusha Rishon loy kochel osid lovoy, if we say Kedusha Rishon is, the Kedusha is gone, you can't bring korbanos. Question number one, if I can't bring korbanos, how is there a b'chor? B'chor is a korban, right? So Rashi points out, that the story is, as the Gemara will say soon, but Rashi is already introducing it to us. If we say Kedusha Rishona is not there, and you can't bring korbanos, what's b'chor doing there? Did you ever see a normal, frum person bringing a korban nowadays? Answers Rashi, listen to the unbelievable case. What about if you brought the korban, meaning you did zrikas dam, you did haktorah while Beis HaMikdash was there on the last day of the existence of Beis HaMikdash? B'chol can be eaten for 2 days. B'chol is one of the only korbanos, B'chol, Shlomim, these guys, they can be eaten for 2 days. Let's say you brought a b'chol, kedas v'chedim, with all the pitchevkes and the hidurim. The Romans are outside, or the Babylonians, or wherever they are. You're bringing your korban. You have big bitachon in Hashem, like people, a second before the guest chambers, they said my soil, all is good. So now you are bringing korban. Boso dam brought, the blood was spilled. The imurim were brought. My name is Cohen. I'm a friend of. I'll bring it to a Cohen. Now, Beis HaMikdash destroyed. The day later, there's a question: can I eat the korban of the b'chol? Right? Can I or cannot eat the korban of the b'chol? Well, if you have this question regarding myself, same thing regarding a b'chol. What's the difference? If the b'chol was brought and you don't need Beis HaMikdash anymore because you did the zrikas dam and aktor, the blood was spilled. Tick the box. Even the imurim, even better. Now I can eat. Right? The question is, Beis HaMikdash was destroyed, and now we have a new question: is it called Lifnei Hashem Elokecha? Beis HaMikdash physically is not there, right? And there is no kedusha. If I'm in the Yerushalayim with the walls, within the walls we're supposed to be, am I still called being present in front of Hashem? Yes or no? Why is it simpler by b'chor than a meiser? Why did we say? I'm summarizing a little bit now. Why did we say in the previous shiur, earlier on, that when it comes to b'chor, what happens by b'chor? B'chor, no. You can't eat b'chor in front when Beis HaMikdash is not there. What about Meiser Sheni? I don't know. At the end of the day, b'chor brought along Meiser, b'hekesh, just like b'chor cannot be eaten in the destroyed Yerushalayim, so too is a Meiser. Why? Why is b'chor simple to you more than Meiser? What's this discrimination over here? Does the b'chor have a different color of skin? What's the business? Answers the Gemara. I'm not sure. 1 second. Omar Ravina, Lo'olam Kasova. That's the final answer. Lo'olam Kasova. Really, the halacha is, or this is what we believe here. Kochel l'shaita v'loy kochel osid lovoy. 6 lines from the bottom of the page. You test Amud Aleph Maseches Makkos. Kochel l'shaita v'loy kochel osid lovoy. Really, the kedusha is not there. The Kedusha is not there, it's not there. Once Beis HaMikdash is not there, there's no Kedusha. Mitzad, to bring a korban, no. How do you have a B'chor? I told you, that B'chor was lucky enough to be the last B'chor, to be Mukrav before Beis HaMikdash was destroyed. So there was Zrikas Dam. There was Haktoras Evarim. Everything is done. We tick all the boxes. Now I want to know the day after the Korban, Yud Be'ov, whatever, can I eat, or Yud Aleph, whatever, can I eat the Korban's flesh in Yerushalayim? The Chorav Abais, boom, the Adain B'sara Kayim, the flesh is there. And it's one day after the Korban, I'm allowed to eat the Korban of the Bchor. And now the question is, no, why is it so simple to you? A Bchor cannot be eaten in Yerushalayim. You know why? Because it says by Bchor, U'besoram hiye lecho, yeah, it's domam tizrak al mizbech, besoram yelecho, umagshinan besoroy ledomoy. Ay. There's a hekesh between the blood and the flesh. Ma domoy b'mizbeach, av besoroy b'mizbeach. Bingo, we got it. That is the story as follows. As opposed to Meiser, where there's no mention of any limitations one way or the other, by Bechor it does say a hekesh. By specifically Bechor it says domam tizrak al mizbech, spill the blood on mizbech, and then you eat the flesh. What does it mean? Just like blood requires mizbeach, because we believe loy kochelosid loving. We believe that once you don't obey some mikdash, don't play around, don't play games. You can't bring the dam. Just like the dam cannot be brought in Yud Be'ov, once Beis HaMikdash is not there, you can't spill the blood, you can't sprinkle the blood, so too you cannot eat the meat. That's the answer by B'chor. Only by B'chor you have this hekesh. How did we end up knowing also by Meiser? Umakish Meiser lebchor mazel tov. Now we're one big happy family. Very nice. Which means, first of all, there's the hekesh within B'chor. What's the hekesh of B'chor? Just like a B'chor has what? The blood of any korban needs a mizbeach. We paskin, at least here, lo kochelosid lovoy. Want to bring your korban? Wait patiently and daven hard. Daven for Beis Hamikdash. Stop fighting with your friends. Do more mitzvahs. Bring the Beis Hamikdash, and then you spill the blood on the mizbech. As long as there's no mizbech, there's no blood. You can't bring the blood. Blood and meat are not comparable. They're compared. They're juxtaposed, and one is teaching regarding the other. Boso, just like blood, so too Boso needs to have the Mizbech and the Beis Hamikdash there. If Beis Hamikdash is not erect, is not built there, you can't eat the flesh of a b'chor. We answer the question. Now comes second stage. What about Meiser? Doesn't say anything about Meiser. Meiser is compared to b'chor in the famous big pasuk which we read yesterday in Kiryas Torah. I'm sure yesterday you were excited to listen to the Baal Koira because a lot of psukim we're discussing here, and that the pasuk that compares Meiser to b'chor. Just like B'chor requires to have the real deal Beis Hamikdash high up and there, so too by B'chor, so too by Meiser. That's the beautiful maskana of our sugya. Now I can listen to Rabbeinu Peretz. Frekt the Gemara. The Gemara asks the question: V'chi dover lomed behekesh, choyzer melamed behekesh. There's a rule regarding kochim. You should know there's a rule regarding kochim. One day, Be'ezras Hashem, you're going to learn kochim. I'm sure you did. You learn again. It says in Zvachim Emtes, Ein lemendi mekochim lomed min alomed. But kochim, there's a special halacha, special rule in the halachas of kochim. When one halacha is learned from, when you learn A from B, you can't continue and learn B from C. Yeah, let's say I have a certain halacha about chatas or oila. You want to learn from there to shlomim and from there to b'chol. You don't do that. In other areas, yes, we can have limudim, beginning of psochin, like a limud of like 8 stages. Yeah, here we say no. When it comes to kochim, kochim is a whole different business. You should know kochim, the whole limud is very different. It's inside Beis Hamikdash. It's a different story. And there, anything to do with kochim, you can't learn from A to B and then B to C. Frag the Gemara. Here we have kochim, right? B'chol is kochim. And the question is, in other words, we have an ABC here. How do we know? Let's repeat. It's a very good way to revise what we just said. We have a little ripple effect. We have like a chain reaction over here. Why? Listen, what did we say? The b'chol's blood, of course you need mizbeach, because we pass on there is no kedusha. Here we pass on that way. And since the blood needs mizbech and Beis Hamikdash, it needs the whole business, right? So too the boso, we makish dam to boso, the flesh of the korban, the relatively secular flesh eaten by the kohen in Yerushalayim cannot be eaten. It also needs the presence of Beis Hamikdash, and from the boso we learn to Meiser Sheni. I think that's ABC, A B C D, right? from bos to da, from dam to boso, from boso to meiser. So, but that's kochim. It's kochim. So how can you learn in kochim? Yeah, double. Yeah, double stages. Bounce, bounce. How does it work? And says the Gemara, no. Meiser dogon chulinu. Meiser dogon really means meiser sheni. Just an example. Meiser sheni is chulin. In other words, it's a mixed family over here. We have one item which is kochim, and one item which is chulin. Meiser is chulin. We said it many times. Meiser sheni. Who's allowed to eat meiser sheni? Any Tom, Dick, and Harry. Anybody. You have to eat in Yerushalayim. You have to be Torah. Fair enough. But anybody can eat that. It's not called kochim. Meiser dogon is chulin, and therefore. Yes, since the item is coming to teach to learn, the new thing you're bringing into the halacha is chulin, therefore it's okay. If both items are kochim, A, B, C, all of them are kochim, that's a problem. But over here, B and C, B is kochim and C is chulin, therefore it's okay. Okay. It's not so simple. That's okay, according to Mandomar that says, as it just said, the Lomed. If you follow the Lomed, the one that is being taught, meaning the one you want to now add into the group, the halacha you want to mechadesh, then you're right. The new item which you're trying to learn is chulin, then it's okay, we don't follow the rule of double hekesh. According to Mandomar that says you follow the melamed. In other words, that if kochim is what's coming to teach you, right? Here the Bechor is the one who's teaching, meaning who's the one who's bringing in the chulin of Meiser. We learn from Bechor to Meiser. And according to one man, the Omar, in Ezel Mekoyman, in Zvachim, it says that if the item that is bringing in the other one is kochim, then you can't have two. You can't have two ekeshim. If so, what are you going to say? Michael Amema, what are you going to say? Answers the Gemara, another brilliant answer. Dam ubasol chadam yosahi. Oh, it's not two ekeshim. The hekesh of dam and basol is a hekesh, but it's not a hekesh. Once the Torah told me dam ubasol of bchor, are one and the same, they're one and the same. In other words, the Torah told me dam and basol have the same halacha. Just like dam cannot be spilled anywhere outside the mizbech, chalila, and if you don't have mizbech, you don't have Beis HaMikdash, you have nothing. There's no dam being spilled, no such thing. So too, boso, it's not called a hekesh. We're just applying the same halacha to the whole korban. Yeah. If I say the person is not healthy, this and that, it's one system. It's holistic. It's two parts of the same system. Dam and boso. If dam and boso are one, that's one. And from that item called b'cho, blood and basal, you learn to one item called meiser. So it's not ABC, it's A with two components, A1, A2, dam and basal, and from there you learn to B, which is the meiser. Very nice. Stay there. Now we're going to learn about meiser shiny, a lot of very interesting, fascinating things, which I have to admit I did not know before about meiser shiny. Before we continue, I want to remind you, we are now after two Mishnahs of this Perek. One Mishnah was not in Daf Yud Gimel, the other one was Daf Yud Zayin. And before we continue, you can do the same. I'm going to flip and leaf back to turn the pages to Yud Gimel Amud Aleph. And in Yud Gimel Amud Aleph, it says there, in Yud Gimel Amud Aleph, it says in the Mishnah, about towards 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 or 7 lines from the bottom of the page of Yud Gimel Amud Aleph, it says, "Umaiser sheni ve'ekdesh shelo niftu." There's a list of averas that you chayev malchus for. One of them is maiser sheni shelo niftu. You have maiser sheni. You eat the maiser sheni without pidyon. You chayev malchus. Where do you think you had that maiser sheni without pidyon? Yerushalayim, not Yerushalayim, New York, Tel Aviv, Los Angeles. Ma'aser sheni shelo v'hekdesh, leave hekdesh alone now. Ma'aser sheni shelo nifdu, you chayav malchus. Okay, you ate ma'aser sheni without doing the proper pidyon. Real ma'aser sheni, you have ma'aser sheni from grapes, from olives, from wheat and barley, and you ate it. Then what happens? You chayav malchus. Okay, flip please to Yud Zayin Amud Aleph. Yud Zayin Amud Aleph, the Mishnah says, it says in the Mishnah, quite at the beginning of the Mishnah Yud Zayin Amud Aleph. I'm waiting. It's okay. Take your time. Also, people at home. Yeah, you have the Gemara over. I don't want to scroll back and forth the screen. Achel bikur and b'chule b'chule. The second line of the Mishnah at the end says, "Ma'aser sheni chutz l'choyma." Bingo. Ma'aser sheni outside the choyma, you chayev. If you ate ma'aser sheni outside the choyma, you chayev malchus. It's the same thing. Because Ma'aser Sheni without Pidyon is where? Outside the Choyma. Because inside the Choyma, you're not supposed to be Poida. You're not allowed to, actually. So when you say Ma'aser Sheni without Pidyon, obviously means outside the Choyma. So you're saying the same thing twice in different aspects. Yeah? Am I talking to parents or to Mr. Minister? Same person, right? Just calling it different names. Yeah? That's a question. Now you're ready for the question. Tnina Chadazimna, Frag the Gemara, Kocha Kochim, Tnina Chadazimna. We learned it already once. Ma'aser Sheni ve'ekdesh lo nifdu. We learned Ma'aser Sheni, which was not nifda. Okay, so why are you telling me again Ma'aser Sheni outside the Choyma? Right? You're telling me in Daf Yud Zayin that it's outside the Choyma. Look, Ma'aser Sheni, yeah, what's the Choyma? Same thing. By the way, soon Rashi is going to be niftar. Soon Rashi will be niftar, meaning I'm thinking it was niftar many years ago, but this is the place where Rashi says something about Tum and Tahara soon, and then he points out Rabbeinu Gufato Yotzei Shmosu b'Tahara. Rashi was Tohar, his body left his pure neshama left his pure body when as he was writing the words Tohar, and then from here till the end of the Masechta, the one who took over is his Talmid, was also, I think, his son-in-law, the Rivan, Rabbi Yehuda Bar Nosson. Okay? So we're about to experience the last Gemara. There's another place where Rashi stopped writing, and that's in Bava Basra. I guess he was working on two things together. There, Rashbam took over, and here the Rivan. Yeah. Hey, right. In Bava Basra, it's Rashbam, which is very long, and here it's the Rivan. Yeah. Weiter. Nina Chadazimna. Frag the Gemara, we learned it once already. Ma'aser Sheni ve'ekdesh lo nifdu. Why saying the same thing twice, just in different ways? Omar Be'eser Bar Chanina, big bomb, big story here. Seifa, the Seifa, which says outside the Choyma, yeah, it says in the Seifa, Chutz l'Choyma, v'Ma'aser Sheni Tor v'Gavra Tor. That's already good. The Ma'aser Sheni is Tor, the person eating it is Tor, not the. V'Ka'ochil Chutz l'Choyma, as we understood. Okay, so far, fine. I'm Tor, I went to the mikveh, the Ma'aser Sheni is Tor, and I'm eating it in RBSA. And what? I eat it outside Yerushalayim? Bad news. Reisha, and here comes the big Chiddush, the Ma'aser Sheni Tome ve'Gavre Tome. The Ma'aser Sheni is Tome, or it's not and. Tosfos and Litva says it's either the Ma'aser Sheni is Tome. Yes, a dead mouse fell on those beautiful grapes and you washed them, but they're Tome. The man is Tome because he touched a dead mouse, either or. The Ka'ochilei b'Yerushalayim. He's eating it in Yerushalayim. Because in Daf Yud Gimel, it didn't say Chutz l'Choyma. It's inside the Choyma. Inside the Choyma, it's okay to eat Ma'aser Sheni. Well, it's not. Because if you eat Ma'aser Sheni inside Yerushalayim, and you are not Poide, you eat the Ma'aser Sheni Yerushalayim, well, you are Tome, or the Ma'aser is Tome, on that, bam, bang, you chayev malchus, and that's a chiddush, and it's meduik in the Mishnah. Only the second Mishnah said chutz lechoyma. The first Mishnah didn't say chutz lechoyma. You're eating it in Yerushalayim, Ma'aser Sheni, and you chap 39 lashes. What wrong did I do? Either your tome or the Ma'aser is tome. Inside Yerushalayim, you chap, Mister, 39 lashes. 39 of 9 of the cat. Frag the Gemore, uminala de mechayv mishum tuma. How do you know? How do you know that if I eat Ma'aser Sheni Tome, I'm Chayiv Malchus? Doesn't sound right. Who said it's Osir? The Tanya, it says in the Brayso, I'm about to explain the whole Gemara now according to the Ritva. The Ritva here has everything, every line clear, because it's the Tanya. Rabbi Shimon Omer, it says, in a few weeks' time, we're going to read the following pasuk. Lo bi'alti mimenu b'toma. When do we say that? The person makes a confession, a vidu, it's called, when he brings what's the names, when he finishes off all the maislas. And Pesach of the 4th year and Pesach of Shemitah are twice in a cycle when you're supposed to, like your tax return, the beginning of the Goyish year, like when you have to get all your papers to the accountant, lahavdil, by the Meiser, you have to get rid of a Meiser Rishon, Sheni, Oni, right? Everything has to be consumed, eaten, given, whatever has to be given. And then you make the whole declaration, text declaration, master declaration, and you talk about Ma'aser Sheni, amongst others, and you say to Hashem, Hashem, I did everything right. What did you do right? Lo bi'arti mimeno betome. I did not consume it when tome. Who is tome? Ben shani tome v'hu toil. Ben shani tov v'hu tome. Very nice. Which means the person comes and says to Hashem, they say you have to do it in Yerushalayim, and he says either me or it were tome. No, in such a state, I never consumed the Ma'aser Sheni. Ma'aser Sheni, that's tome. What do you do? We'll see later. There is a solution. You can still be poide in Yerushalayim. But the Ma'aser, I did not eat it. Well, either I'm tome or the Ma'aser is tome. So now I know that it's not the right thing to do. Here's a makor to tell me that you're not allowed to eat Ma'aser Sheni betuma. Frek the Gemara with the Ritva's explanation, Vehechan Muzar al Achila. Where do you see that the Torah warns us, not to eat the Ma'aser Sheni betuma either way? And the question is, what do you mean, where do you see warning? You see, the guy stands there and says, I did not do that. Mashma that it's osur. If you're supposed to say to Hashem, hey Hashem, I promise you, I cannot lie to you. I'm vidui, oy, oy, oy. And I'm telling you, I did not eat Ma'aser Sheni b'tomeh, neither me or it. Well, clearly that means it's osur, no? It's not recommendable by the Torah. Answers the Ritva, the Gemara still wants to know, how do you know it's osur? What do you mean? Answer number one. Could be the vidu is lifnim shuasadin. Maybe the person is supposed to tell Hashem, I was extra good. I gave you special attention to Kodesh Baruch Hu and his mitzvahs. Maybe, I don't know if it's also, right? Hopefully our lives are not just about running away from what's also because we're scared of Gehenna. You want to do more than that, right? As a Jew. Secondly, says the Ritva, hey, wait a second. Maybe the person is confessing doesn't mean that it's a lav. When do we get Malchus? Only on Lavim. You don't get Malchus on NSA. A person didn't put on tefillin the whole day. It's a very severe thing. Very, very severe. Not getting Malchus. Because there's no lav not put on tefillin. You only get Lavim. You only get Malchus. Hopefully we know. You only get Malchus by Lavim. Yeah? If so, how do you know it's a lav? Maybe it's an asay. Maybe the Torah is telling me an asay, eat it betahara. A tohar, right? How do you know that eating it betuma is a lav that requires malchus? That we haven't seen. That's a Gemara's question. That's a Yonish of the Ritva, because other Rishonim see differently. I'm not going down to all the different shitas. Answers the Gemara, Ein Yodea. Boom, I don't know. What do you mean you don't know? Rashi said, the Ritva says, Ein Yodea. I haven't seen a mefurish posuk. I don't know of a posuk that says mefurish you're not allowed to eat it betuma. I only know of Gzera Shova. And now the Gemara is going to attack that statement. Don't you know where it says mefurash? Here it says mefurash. Look, what's this all vacillating? Yes, is it also mutter? Look, tumas aguf behedeksiv. If you're talking about, again, remember there are two types of tumas we're dealing with. What are they? There's the tum of either I am tome and I'm eating Ma'aser Sheni and that's wrong, or the Ma'aser is tome, I am as pure as gold. I just left the most mehudar mikveh in the world, mikveh arias dochas badatz and antor, but the stuff is tome. Either or, we have a lav, but we don't know what the lav is. Don't you know the lav? Look, tumas aguf. Let's go by one. The tum of the guf. If I'm tome and the fruit is good, behedeksiv. It says outright. It says nefesh asher tiga boy v'tome ad orev. It says any nefesh that touches that kind of tumah mentioned there. Yeah. And nefesh touches the tumah, v'toma ad orev becomes toma till the evening. V'lo yoichal min hakochim. He should not be allowed to eat from the kochim unless he goes to mikveh ekim rochas b'sor b'mayim. Now that posuk talks about Ma'aser Sheni. You know how we know that? That posuk says that although you're still, once you went to mikveh, although you didn't have Arev Shemesh, you don't have the nightfall yet, you're allowed to eat that thing. The only thing that is a tumah issue that you're allowed to eat after mikveh before nightfall is Ma'aser Sheni. You remember the first Mishnah Brochus. Nichnos elachol betrumoson. Truma you have to wait till the night. And kochim night, sometimes kochim for the korban of the morning after, sometimes. But Ma'aser, all you need to do is, there's a mikveh right here, Shabbat Alevi, Revivim, bing, dunk in, out. Life is good, eat your Ma'aser Sheni in Yerushalayim, of course. Yeah, now. Oh, so that we know already. It says, what does the pasuk say? It says in the pasuk, lo yochel min kochim, and kochim does mean kochim. It means Ma'aser Sheni. Okay, So we know in Mefurish Pasuk, and I don't need Gzeros over here. Meiser Sheni is also to be eaten when I am Tomeh. Ela tumas atzma minayin. Atzma means the food. The food. That was a problem. That was a point which was more delicate. Tumas atzmoy meaning the food itself, not the person himself. The tuma of the food itself, minayin. How do we know that if I am Torah and I'm beautiful and great, and the food is tome, how do you know I'm not supposed to eat it? And it's a niso doraisa alive with malchus. The chtiv, it says, loituch alechol bishorecho. Oh, look at the pasuk in the sidebar. Lo tuchel echol b'shorecha, masad goncha teroshcha v'tzorecha v'chulei. You're not supposed to eat that ma'aser sheni in the gates of Yerushalayim. Or excuse me, b'shorecha means outside Yerushalayim. But there's another limud of lo tuchel echol. Lo tuchel echol means don't eat the ma'aser sheni with the ma'aser is tome. How do you know it's talking about tuma? Up until now, we said what? That it talks about eating outside Yerushalayim. How do you know that this talks about eating Ma'aser Sheni when the grapes and the olives and the figs are tome? How do you know? It says regarding again Mr. Bchor. Remember Mr. Bchor? Bishorecha tochlenu atome v'atohor. V'tanya dever bishmal afilu tome v'tohor ochnu b'karachas v'en chosheshin. Let me explain everything. Yeah, the story is as follows. We saw that pasuk yesterday too. The Torah tells us twice in Parshas Re'eh. You know, the Pasuk Re'eh, yeah, the Pasuk tells us twice that one time the Torah allows us b'chlal to eat meat that is not kosher. You know, it's a chiddush. To eat steaks and to eat whatever, any type of meat is a chiddush, a Torah, that even though it's not a korban, you're allowed to eat it. It's called b'sar taiva. Earlier than that, the Torah says, what happens if you have, yeah, a tomeh v'atol, what happens if you have a b'chol? It really represents any type of kochim kalim, or could be others too. Yeah, Bechor that flunked. The Bechor has a mum. Yeah, I now remove the kedusha from the behema. I'm allowed to. I'm supposed to, right? The behema is a blemish. A blemish will not go. What am I supposed to do? Remove it and redeem the kedusha from the behema, from the calf, from the sheep to another behema. I'm supposed to. That's mutter because there is mum. Yeah, Bessie has a mum. I pass it from Bessie to Lucy. Now Bessie is now kedusha free, or is it? The pasuk is telling us that that's a whole sugya in B'choros Daf Tesvav, that Kodshim, once the Kedusha is redeemed, they're not completely whole. They didn't completely go off the derech. In other words, you're still not allowed to benefit from their wool. You can't benefit from the milk if it's a behema. It's a bit. Don't ask me what you do with them. It's a whole sugya in B'choros, and I don't remember, to be honest. What? No. That's by Chatas. That's by Chatas. Not kochim kalim. That's chatas. The chamish chatos. Good no. The kochim kalim, you let them know. The kochim kalim, you redeem the kedusha from them, and you're supposed to eat them. You know, the truth, only the truth, nothing but the truth. Eat, only eat, and nothing but the eat. Yeah, that's all. You can't benefit from them. You can't get their milk, their work, their whatever. Just eat them. So although they maintain some level of kedusha, yet the Torah says, "Bishorecha tochlenu hatome v'atoh." One pula regarding kodshim that are ex-kodshim is you are allowed to eat them betuma, and listen to what the Torah says, as we just said now, tome v'tor ochlin b'kara achas v'en chosheshin. Let's say I'm Torah, my next door neighbor is tome, and I'm eating the b'chol, let's say I'm a kohen, and he's also a kohen, or any other kodshim. I'm eating a toida, whatever, maisel, whatever, not b'chol, whichever, yeah? And I'm eating it, Toma and Torah together once redeemed. What does it mean? What happens when a Toma and Torah eat together? No precaution is needed regarding Toma V'Tara. Although Kochim that were redeemed are limited, you can't start milking it. I don't know what you do with the milk. Maybe you burn it. I don't know. You don't shear it. You don't do other things. You're not supposed to sell it also. B'mishka, a lot of limitations. But Lamaisa, to eat the metuma, I can. I can touch a dead frog, wash my hands nicely with good soap, and eat that korban. Not only that, it says Tom and Tor together. Oh, what happens when the Tom and Tor eat with the same plate? The Ke'oro Achas. It means two things. First of all, I know that those kochim can be eaten by a Tom person, right? Reuven, Tommy is Tome and Tuvia is Tohor. So Tommy is eating, grabbing in the same Ke'oro. Once he touched the meat became Tome. And now Tuvia, the Tor, is eating the Tome meat. When you share the food, Yeah, you never share food with somebody that's really sick, contagiously, right? Even your wife, let's say, you don't want to you don't want to catch it. So when the Tama eats from the Ka'ara with the Tor, we learn two things. A Tama person may eat from the Bchor, from whichever ex-Korban Kedusha, and the Tor is now eating from Tama meat, and that's absolutely fine. Aha! So we see that by Bchor, funnily enough, that's already, that there's was a korban and is now ex-korban, he was redeemed, then I'm allowed to eat tome ex-kochim, the meat is tome. What about meiser? Look what it says. The pasuk says, "Lo tuchal echol b'sharecha b'kol rachmana heach tome desharelach gabi tor hasam ochol." Very, very, very good. Which means when the Torah says, "Lo tuchal echol b'sharecha," it's referring to the same bishorecha bat b'chor, and it's telling you. It says bishorecha techlena atome v'ato. By a b'chor, what did we say? A b'chor in your gates. What's your gates? Bet Shemesh, Bnei Brak, Beitar, Beersheva, Beit Sha'an, anywhere in Israel, you're allowed to eat it outside Beis Hamikdash, outside Yerushalayim. The b'chor, and you can eat it Tom and Torah together. Comes the Torah, says, Meiser Sheni? You think Meiser Sheni is always at the bottom of the totem pole? Let me surprise you. Says the Torah, Loi tuchalechol bish orecha. The same bish orecha which there I allowed you, i.e., I allowed you to eat b'chor, which is tome, because it's not a korban anymore. It's like ex-korban. You can eat it betuma, and it's tome. By Meiser Sheni, lo tuchalechol bishorecha. That same bishorecha, don't eat it when the Meiser Sheni is tome. Bingo. So now we have the source. Buri Hashaim. We found sources for both. Meiser Sheni, let's repeat, review, and revise. We are in Tractate Makkos. We are in Maseches Makkos of Yutes Amud Beis, kind of middle of the page. The line starts, the line we're about to see now, after we're going to summarize, is Uminalan. Yeah, Uminalan. Very good. Yeah, Uminalan. Mem Nun Lamed. Let's summarize. How do we know? You're going to come home today, your wife is going to ask you, am I allowed to eat Meiser Sheni Betuma? That's what she's going to ask you, right? So now, no question. Yeah, Meiser Sheni Betome. That's what the burning issue. Soon, based on Mikdash. Meiser Sheni. Can you eat the Meiser Sheni when you are Tome or when the Meiser Sheni is Tome? The answer is no. You cannot eat it, not even inside Yerushalayim. Why? Because regarding the me being Tome eating it, it says no. It says in the pasuk, it says that yes, sorry, nefesh shetiga boy the toma ad orev lo yechol min kochim. Your tome, don't eat those kochim, not really kochim ma'aser sheni. What about if the ma'aser sheni is toma and I'm tor? That we compared and actually differentiated from bechor. By bechor or any kochim kalim that were redeemed, there a tome is allowed to eat, or when the flesh is tome. I had the bechor. The story is as follows. The guy was makdish, kochim kalim to Beis Hamikdash, bchor, meiser, pesach, whatever that is, right? Shlomim, toida, yeah? Boom, broke the leg. Somebody came and cut off the leg. That's it. Irreparable, mum, shein oiver, mum kavua. Oh, what can I do? Well, don't sweat over it. Don't cry over spilled milk. You know, there's milk spilling too. It's a nekeva. And then what do? You redeem the kedusha, remove. Oh, is it totally kedusha free? There's lots of limitations. But one thing, it's not limited. You can eat it wherever you want. I'm not sure about all kochim kalim wherever you want. I think so. But clearly, you are allowed to eat it even though the korban is tome. That korban, you shechted it, mazel tov, about to eat it, and came a dead toad. So nice. Fell from the ceiling, a dead toad from the next door neighbor, and it fell on that ex-korban. You allowed to eat it? Well, I suggest you clean it a bit. You're allowed to eat it, yes. That's the chidush over there. Come to the Torah and tells me, "Lo tuchalecha b'shorecha." Meiser Sheni, you cannot eat bishorecha. Bishorecha. Yeah, it's like a reverse gzera shava. What happens there does not happen. You're lo tuchal. Meiser Sheni, you're not allowed to eat if the Meiser Sheni is tomeh. Very good. And what happens if you do? It kind of hurts. Yeah, you need, I think, like a month in hospital. You get 39 lashes, so it's not worth the attempt. Very good. Weiter. Yeah. Questions for me. Weiter. Okay, we got some very, very good questions here. I'm very impressed with the people. And the question you're asking is a Gemara's question. So let's go. Yeah, no time for commercials. Weiter. Frag de Gemore uminalen de Bar Pediahu. What did we say in Daf Yud Gimel? We said Ma'aser Sheni Shaloi Nifda. Ma'aser Sheni was not redeemed, and you ate it. Oy oy oy. Well, we're talking about Ma'aser Sheni Tome, right? Okay, and we're talking in Yerushalayim, not Chutz Lachoima, right? There are two different isurim. We said. Let's put head and tails together. In Dafid Zayin Amud Aleph, Ma'aser Sheni Chutz Lachoima. That's a classical case. You eat your regular Ma'aser Sheni, Tohor and good, and everything is nice. Outside the Choima, flesh. The first case in Daf Yud Gimel, over there we spoke about Ma'aser Sheni Shaloi Nifdu, right? And there are Loi Nifdu, and they're not Chutz Lachoima. They're in the Choima. They're not redeemed, and they're tome. So you're telling me that inside Yerushalayim can be poide? You guys, I guess, have very good memory from Bava Metzia. We said in Bava Metzia around afternoon something, and many places, that Ma'aser Sheni, once in Yerushalayim, you're caught in the black holy hole of Yerushalayim. Once Ma'aser Sheni is in Yerushalayim, no way out. In other words, you can't be poide. You have to eat it. Yeah, maybe give it to your friend. You can't be poide. Oh, and he looks like Ma'aser Sheni Tome in Yerushalayim. I brought Ma'aser Sheni, and in Yerushalayim, a dead chicken came and boom, fell in it, nevela. What happens now? I cannot eat it, and it's Malchus. Looks like I can redeem it. Lo nifdu. Really? How do we know the Ma'aser Sheni inside Yerushalayim? If it's Tome, it's Bapdia. If it's Tor, it's not. But if it's Tome, it is. How do you know? Give me a source. Answers the Gemara. Afilu b'Yerushalayim, even in Yerushalayim, right? Talmud Loimar, it says, Kiloi tuchal seisoy. When the Torah tells me, about, and this is also next week's parsha, the Torah tells me about the option of taking my Sosheni and redeem it. What does the Torah say? You'll have, the way will be too long. Loi tuchal seisoy. What does it mean, Loi tuchal seisoy? My good friends, you all speak Hebrew very well. What does it mean, laset, laset? To carry. So the Pashup Pshat means if you can't carry the Ma'aser Sheni, you live in the Golan, may they live in peace very soon, and you have a truckload of Ma'aser Sheni, you have big business over there. You seriously want me to take the whole thing to Yerushalayim? It's going to take hours, and back then didn't have trucks even. So, however, the Torah is now, the Gemara is giving us new Pshat, the Ein Seis Ela Achila. Wow. Seis means to eat. Wow. It says about Joseph and his brothers, Yosef and Echov, when they finally recognized each other and they kissed and hugged, what does it say over there? He gave them gifts. What kind of gifts? Food, glorious food. Yeah, he gave them food. And it says masos. What's masos? Food. Now, I'm not sure actually when they met or before, actually. Yeah. Was it right before or after? I think it was before, I think. I think it was before. Doesn't matter. The kids are masos means what? To eat. Psh. I'm not saying you're wrong to me, but there is a new pshat here. The Torah is telling me if you can't lisa, then you can redeem. If lisa means to eat, the Torah is telling me if halachically you're not allowed to eat it, then you can be poida. Meaning, if halachically I can't eat it because it's tome, and the Torah will give me lashes, then I'm supposed to do what? Redeem it. It's true, losses also means to carry. Basically, as we're going to see soon, there are two cases. Both are under the word losses. If I can't carry because I'm outside Yerushalayim, and it's good meiser otherwise, or I'm inside Yerushalayim, oh, it's tameh, ugh. Then what? I can't eat it. Halachically, I can't eat it, not because it's not tasty, because halachically I can't. Then I'm allowed to and supposed to be poider, including tuma inside Yerushalayim. Omar, okay, that's one pshat. Now comes the Gemara to tell us what we know already, but give us the source. Omar bevai Omar be'asi. Minayin ma'aser sheni tohor shepodin oyster afilu bepsia achas chutz lechoyma. Let's say the person is one step, half a meter outside Yerushalayim, outside the walls of Yerushalayim. You know where the police station is, right side over there. How do you know that I can be poideh? And I'm not required to go into Yerushalayim and eat it. Maybe lo tuchal seiso means I can't carry it because I'm the Golan. It's all truckload. Says the Gemara, no. Shenema ki lo tuchal seiso. You can't carry. Can't carry doesn't mean I'm sleeping. Can't carry means if it requires carrying, If I carry for this from here to here, halachically that's called carrying. For Shabbos, carry doesn't mean schlepping a whole load of thing. Seisa means that you have to take it from point A to inside the chayma. You don't do that, no problem. You're supposed to do pidyon outside. Frag the Gemara. Wait a second. I thought we used the word say so not to tell me to carry, but rather not to eat. Right? Make up your mind. And says the Gemara, no. Losses really means both. And now the Gemara is going to give us a beautiful grammatic pshat over here. Im ken, if the Torah only wanted to tell me that I can be poide meister that I can't eat, if the Torah wanted to tell me that if I have meiser that I can't eat because it's tome, I can be poide, and it's coming to exclude meiser outside Yerushalayim, the Torah could have spoken in a normal language, to eat. Why is the Torah telling me, losses, eat? Elamai, my say soy, right? My say soy. Why do you say soy? Say soy clearly means, as you said very spontaneously, very nicely, say so means to carry. Clearly, the Torah says if you can't carry even half a meter outside Yerushalayim, you can be poid outside Yerushalayim. I have something to say about that soon. Wait, if really losses means to carry, maybe it only means to tell me if you have to carry it in, meaning if you're outside Yerushalayim, redeem it. But how do you know about the business inside Yerushalayim? I'm supposed to toy there if I can't eat it. How do you know about the eating? Says the Gemara, no. If the Torah only wanted to tell me carry, there's another normal accepted word for carrying, litol. Litol, netila, is to carry, to take. My say so ishma minatarti. The Heilige Torah, Kadosh Baruch Hu, with the goodness of the Torah, is using a word that's dafka, it's like a pun. It has double meaning. The Torah carefully chose the word stay soy to tell me if you can't be noise, the Meiser Sheni. What's noise? Double meaning. Yeah, like a dictionary. Many times they have one word with many, many meanings, like the word fine, for example, in English. Yeah, they're good. Then what does it mean? It means both. If you can't carry from outside to the inside, not lav dafka can't because it's terrible. You don't feel like you're eating outside Yerushalayim. You don't eat it. You want to redeem. You don't like olives. And you have olives. You sell them. What do? Redeem them. Very nice. What do? Bring in the money. Go into the choima, which is 2 centimeters away from you. Inside the choima, you have the money and buy meat. Nice food, wine. Yeah. Now, that's one thing. What happens to the guy who brought the Ma'aseh to Yerushalayim? He became Tomeh. Same thing. Say so. You can't halachically eat it, even inside Yerushalayim, because it's Tomeh, and we said the Tomeh you can't eat. What do? Very good what you do. You redeem it. And then what do? The Ma'aseh that's Tomeh. The Ma'aseh that's Tomeh, you eat the Ma'aseh as far as... Wait a second. He doesn't have the Kedushas Ma'aseh Sheni. You can eat it. Yeah. You can eat the Ma'aseh Sheni. Why? Because it doesn't have Kedusha anymore. But that's like the animal. In other words, I had Ma'aseh Sheni. I can't eat Ma'aseh Sheni Yerushalayim. What do you want to do? I redeem it inside Yerushalayim. I take money and I transfer the Kedusha from the, whichever Kedusha Ma'aseh Sheni, from the Tomeh figs, let's say. And what? Now the money is Kodesh. The figs are now Kedusha free. Who cares they're Tomeh? I'll eat them. Tomeh, no problem. Yes, I'm listening.
If a man takes his Ma'aseh Sheni into
okay. Thank you. Weiter. Yosef of Chanina ve'Avoishia. Now this Gemara is the version here is wrong. The real way to read it is Apischa Yerushalayim. Those two Ameroim of Chanina and Avoishia were sitting actually by the gates of Yerushalayim as they were talking, and they're asking the question Pshita. They're asking a question beginning with Pshita. What happens with what happens when the person is inside and the Meiser is outside, or vice versa? Pshita, hu bechutz u'masoi befnim. Let's say the person is outside, but the Meiser Sheni is inside. Most of the body is outside Yerushalayim, and the Masa, I have a bundle with Meiser Sheni, and that's inside Yerushalayim. Yeah, the Meiser is inside Yerushalayim, and I am outside. Kaltur mechitzas. What's kaltur mechitzas? That's it. Kaltur mechitzas means, as I told you, that's not Tomeh. We're talking about Torah. The Meiser inside of a Torah, kosher Torah lemehadrin, wheat and barley. Yeah. And now, once the mechitzas were collected, like misrada kalita, kaltu mechitzas, one of the mechitzas absorbed it. It's inside the mechitzas. No way out. You are stuck in the black hole called holy hole called Yerushalayim. No way to redeem it. That's it. You have to eat it inside. Once the Ma'aser Sheni is inside Yerushalayim, inside the Choima, bingo. It's inside. You can't take it out, redeem, no playing games. You, mister, got to come inside or tell your friends maybe, and you have to eat it inside. That's simple poshut because the Ma'aser is inside Yerushalayim, and that's the main star of the show here is the Ma'aser. The question is, that's a question. What would be if he's inside? I'm inside Yerushalayim. I came into Yerushalayim, let's say, in order to eat the Ma'aser Sheni, right? And I'm inside, and the Ma'aser Sheni, is outside still. That's the question. Ma'u. What would be the halacha over there? Yeah? Is it called Masoy Loy Tuchal Seiso? Yes or no? The Meiser is outside, but I am inside. So you can't say that, am I far away? I'm close. I'm inside. I'm mamish inside. I'm very, very close. In fact, I'm inside the Yerushalayim. But the Meiser is outside. Yeah? Can I go outside? Or maybe no. If I'm inside, I'm supposed to bring my Meiser Sheni inside too. What's wrong?
What's the question?
Why? What's the question?
He's inside, the Meister Sheni's outside.
Yeah.
He takes it in his hand, he puts it into his mouth. Shayach.
Who's
Meister Sheni is
Pa, pa,
inside.
pa, 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 pa. He wants, so let me explain. He wants to go outside and be poided. He, for whichever reason, does not want to eat it in Yerushalayim. And he's asking the rabbi, am I allowed to do that? Let me explain.
So wait, Meister
Is he
Sheni
allowed?
inside.
Of course,
Inside.
technically he can. He's inside. Hu befnim. He's inside. The question is, if you're inside Yerushalayim, you're not rochok min haderech, right? You are inside the rabbi, right? The Meiser is outside in Haranel for in Kiryat Moshe or Katamon, right? Now, and you know that your Meiser Sheni is there, okay? Are you allowed to text your friend and WhatsApp him and say, hey, mister, be poidem a Meiser Sheni and just bring me the money, and I'll use the money and eat nice flesh and wine in my favorite restaurant in Yerushalayim, or no? Or maybe I'm supposed to dafka halachically bring the fruit itself into Yerushalayim. Because maybe if I'm inside, I'm not rachok, and therefore I'm supposed to eat the Meiser Sheni inside, even though the Meiser is outside. Of course, it can be technically done to bring the Meiser, no problem. We're talking about bad boys, in inverted commas. No, is he allowed? I'm asking a halachic question, Rabbeinu. Is he or isn't he allowed, yeah, to actually arrange for the Meiser Sheni to be redeemed outside Yerushalayim, yeah, and bring in the money, yes or no?
Why arrange? Why complicate it? Why not say, why can't he go from inside to outside,
And
poda it, and then bring the
because
Meiser
maybe
Sheni
it's
inside?
also to be poide. Because Yichakamakom, as you'll see, because you're not rachok. You're in your shalim. You're not Yichakim Chamakom. There are standards here to follow. There's a criteria. Yeah.
There's a shear.
No, we said even 1 millimeter. As long as you're outside, you're still outside. No, but I'm inside. If you're inside Yerushalayim, yeah, inside Yerushalayim, you're not. Am I rachok from Ezos Noshim Rabbi Shalom? You need to hospitalize me if I say that. I'm inside.
Versus a gabra?
Yeah, that's a question. Yes, apparently. When the Meiser is inside, of course the Meiser is the star of the show more. If the Meiser is inside, we have a rule that once it's inside the walls, they're unfortunately moved. I don't remember where, but it says somewhere, maybe we'll see later, we saw it, I know it is general knowledge, that once Meiser Sheni is inside the walls, boom, stuck. The Meiser Sheni, of course, is the main thing, not the person. If the Meiser is inside, you can't lower the Kedusha, I'm giving it the time, and bring it outside and start redeeming. It's inside, it stays inside. That's clear. 1 second, please, 1 second. But the person is a shaila. On one end, I can say, like you were saying, listen, the food is outside. Well, I'll redeem the food and bring in the cash to you. But maybe no. Maybe the person, Yichak Mimcha Hamakoim, as the Gemara is going to say, you are not far. If you're inside Yerushalayim, you're not far from Yerushalayim, I think. Otherwise, you need to get your physics right, yeah? Go back to high school. If I'm in Yerushalayim, I'm not far from Yerushalayim. And maybe then it's too late, and I cannot go outside or do any other shtick maching and do pidyon. I have to eat it inside, B'kedusha, and bring in the Meiser itself. At least it's a question. 1 second, please. It's a minute. I promise to listen to answers the Gemara. I'll listen to in a minute. Tanalu od Saba, b'dever b'Shimon ben Yochai, that elderly Talmid Chacham from the yeshiva, Shimon ben Yochai told them, yeah. I don't told them, or he told they know it from him. Very good. Mimcha makom means mi milu acha. Mikol milu shalcha, which means that either you or the milu acha means not part of you, but all of you, or any part of you, or your food, as long as you are not far away. If you're inside or your food is inside, you can't redeem. You have to eat the Meiser Sheni. You have to text your friend who's outside in Mamila, is outside in Bet Shemesh, and say, "Hi, I'm in Yerushalayim. Now my Meiser Sheni has to be brought inside and be eaten over there." And let me just say one more, and then we'll finish, and I'll hear you. By Rav Papa, now Rav Papa has a very cool question. Nakitle bekanya mai teku. What happens if the person is outside, yeah, and the person has a long cane, has a long kaneh? Yeah, in other words, yeah, except the other way. He's inside and he has the kone going to the outside. It's not mamish on him. Maybe it's not miluoi. It's not him and his food together. He's inside, right? And there is, and the Maisa Sheni is outside with a long cane. He has a long stick. At the end of the stick is the Maisa Sheni. Where's the Maisa Sheni? By Gay Ben Hinnom, by Begin Museum, I don't know, somewhere near the old city. And he's inside the old city. Okay? So what happens then? Shaila, do we say that Lamaisa, he is, yeah, he's all inside, right? Do we say that is not mamashal ksefoi, it's not miloi, right? It's not miloi if the meiser is outside. If the meiser is outside, it can be poide, or maybe not. This I have to work out again. Something here doesn't work right for me, and I have to really rethink the whole thing. Tomorrow we're going to redo this because I have a question here, so I'm not saying I don't want to say things which I'm not sure about. I understood it one way, now I understand the other way, so I'm going to revise it and come back tomorrow with a clear picture about this stick business. And okay.
On this Gemara, the last bit seems more logical.
Okay.
Than the first bit.
Thank you very much. Atzlocho Brocho. Thank you to Torah Anytime and YouTube and everybody else. Thank you. Have a great day. Atzlocho and a good